Hello and welcome. My name's Super Saiyan and this is your weekly news and pre-order video covering all of the new releases from Games Workshop and Forge World. There's not a huge amount of releases and things today or news, but I thought I would go through them. Firstly, I'd like to say a massive thank you to everyone that supports the channel, all of you members, everyone on Patreon and everyone that supports the channel by using the Element Games affiliate link. Just takes a few seconds to select the link on a video, use the crystal code at the checkout, and then you will receive double the points. And you'll also receive your 20% discount off all your Warhammer. So it's certainly worth doing, especially in these times. Also, so a warm welcome to all of you new viewers and subscribers. I think a few people have found this channel through the live streams and also the video game live streams, which is pretty cool. So welcome. This channel is mainly focusing on Warhammer. That's 40k, Horus Heresy, and Age of Sigmar. But I also have some knife reviews, motorbike reviews, and Lego content. Let's go into the community website and have a look at what's been occurring for the past week. So if we go back to the 6th, May the 6th, right around here. So we had a look at some of the Black Library pre-orders. There was this Pilgrims of Fire by Justin D. Hill. I probably will pick it up at some point. It's just I've got a lot of books to read and a lot of games to play at the moment. So my backlog of books to read is very large at the moment. Same with The Great Devourer and, of course, Outgunned. I'm sure they're fantastic books. But, yeah, you can pre-order those in hardback and paperback. The pre-orders for the Saturday was this new Kill Team Gallowfall. All new miniatures in there. It introduced some native beastmen right here. I do have a couple of beastmen models. I think there was some in the Blackstone Fortress, I want to say. There was also the Bounty Hunter for Necromunda. And I would be interested in picking these up for my word bearers and stuff. But you've also got these Leagues of Votan minis too, and some fantastic scenery. The Kill Team Extraction Squad was available separately, so was the Soul Shackle scenery, as well as some dice. And Deptus Titanicus, we got some card packs. Blood Bowl, we got Dribble and Drool, the two star players for Skinks for Blood Bowl, and then Wither Grasp Double Drool. And that was it. So not many things to pre-order at all. Well, for last weekend. But the day after, on the Sunday, around about 6 p.m, we've now got this Warcry Nightmare Quest, which introduces these Stormhost miniatures. I really like this one. Pretty cool. And you also got some Flesh Eater Courts. It's been a while since we had any new Flesh Eater Court kind of plastic minis, and I hope we do get some more new Flesh Eater Court minis. You also get these Askergan True Blades. Hasn't been that long since they were out. And then the Claws of Karanak. They were out in a box game set. Now, hold on to your horses. Don't get too excited because these are not fully available in plastic. I want to send that out there straight away, which is such a shame. It really is. They did this with Titanicus. They brought out the box games and some new minis all in plastic, and then they started bringing out weapons from Forge World in resin, and then eventually they brought out like full resin Titans and things. So yeah, with these, it is a shame. I wonder if it's a stopgap, if they are planning to bring these out in plastic one day, but they just are too busy, haven't got the resources to do it right now. I'd like to think that's the case. It keeps me, gives me a warm fuzzy feeling when I go to sleep, if that is going to come to a fruition, and I surely hope so. But all this is they've been upgraded with new plastic spons and sprues that make it easier to add weapon variety to your armoured companies. Now, that's it. It's just that sentence. What it really means is they've retooled the resin areas for the sponsons, and they've actually included the plastic weapon sprues that you get with the Kratos, the Sakaran, all those, the Predator even, all those tanks. They've included that plastic sprue. The funny thing is, I don't actually think that they've included the plastic vehicle accessory sprue, which is, that's what I wanted, Forge-World. I wanted you to include this plastic accessory sprue as well as the vehicle as well as these sponson sprues. It's a shame that they don't even include that, especially when they've bumped up the prices as well. These tanks are now, we're going to have a look at them in a moment, these tanks are now popping £230 or so. These tanks are now almost the same price as my first Warhound Titan that I got. Okay, admittedly it was like 20 years ago now, but still, it's one of those things where they almost got it right. But I understand the Bombard or the Arquita tanks still being in resin. I understand that because they're still relatively new resin, mold resin kit, but they've retooled these sections of them. So, and then the land speeder, I don't know whether it works. I really don't. And it's, I think, £76 now for a land speeder. Yeah, I don't know whether the tank sponsons work. Put it down in the comments if you think it does. And then this Command Rhino, they could have just designed this in plastic and bundled it in with the Scorpius or a different variation. I don't know. They could have had that in there, but yeah, they've retooled the resin area for that. Black Library, we've got Blightslayer in hardback, and also Prince Mesa in softback by Guy Haley. Honestly, I swear Guy Haley is writing a book every week. White Dwarf 488, and then Warhammer Plus, Hammer and Bolter, Undercity, and Kill Team Battle Report. And then a little look at the White Dwarf, 488. I kind of lost interest with White Dwarf when they bumped up the price to £7 per issue and reduced like the paper quality and things. But yeah, it's still around, and I just don't read it anymore. The Questor Soulsworn are Sigmar's eyes, ears, and hammer in the depths of Warcry. So this is a new sort of Warcry set, and focus on the Soulsworn. Gore the Gerderon in Blood Bowl with the Great Black Bull. That looks like a nice mini. Very cool. I think it's even like one of those flesh hounds. Head on his shoulder there. Got the Rumour Engine, 9th of May. I don't know. I want to say Seraphon because it looks like a dinosaur, but it looks more like that than Tyranids, I want to say, but it could still be Tyranids. Awesome warbands, 40k faction focus with the demons, inquisitorial agents sprues revealed. So these come in this box set. I think they look great. I've always wanted them to bring out more kind of civilian Imperial kind of minis, even if they just walk around carrying a las pistol or a flamer or a staff. I think it's awesome. It's a bit of a shame that they're just behind this paywall of this new set coming out, but I'm sure they will be released separately. Ways to play Warhammer 40,000. Combat Patrol is fast and fun. So they're really pushing the Combat Patrol more than ever, so much so that it's like, big focus in 10th edition to buy a force that is kind of out of the box and you can play it straight away. I mean, why wouldn't they? Sometimes it is a license to sort of shift and sell much older minis in a box set, or minis that aren't selling well in a box set. And then if you've got a game system that kind of backs that up, the Combat Patrol, Space Marine, Strike Force, Octavius, that's in the Leviathan launch box set. So they've cleverly created combat patrols for those 2 forces in the box set as well. Which means if they're going to it gives them a license to overproduce the 40k 10th edition. So because these are going to be in their separate combat patrols as well, in boxes, I think, then if they do overproduce, they can just grab some of the sprues and minis from the actual box game and bundle them in the combat patrols, and then go, well, here's your combat patrol. Whether they'll have different combat patrols as well for Space Marines and Tyranids, I'm not sure, and whether they'll refresh a few of these, maybe, but yeah, that's just a little look at the combat patrols and how they'll work. Darius Hink's interview, what happens in the Leviathan novel, and why is the galaxy doomed? I'm definitely going to pick that up. Space Marines on Tyranids, and it's brand new, and it's right at the cutting edge of the timeline as well. Callus and Tor make their animation debut in the new episode of Hammer and Bolter. Haven't watched that yet. I'd like to, though. Warhammer 40k faction focus, Adeptus Sororitas. I'll have a little look at the faction focus for that. You've got more Acts of Faith. You've got a little look at the Triumph of St. Catherine and Battle Sisters Squad. The weapon spotlight, though, you can see the how the Exorcist missile launcher has changed. You've now got 2 different munitions. You've got the Blast heavy ignores cover indirect fire, which is only strength 5, but you can have up to 18 attacks with that, and it's going to hit, which is pretty amazing really for indirect fire. And then you've got the Exorcist missile launcher itself, which again is indirect fire, but it's a whopping strength 10, and possibly you've got 8 attacks of strength 10. The AP isn't the best though, but yeah, there is that. Then you've got 40 years of Warhammer, waving the flag for Warhammer World. You've got ways to play Warhammer 40,000, Forge Your Legend on Crusade, unleash some very disturbing hounds with the Royal Beast Flayers in Warcry Nightmare Quest. So this is the other force that's in the new Warcry box set. You've got the faction focus for Leagues of Votan, mutate lowly cultists into terrifying monsters in the kill team Ashes of Faith. So a big focus on these minis, which I don't think sold massively well, because they're pretty pricey, no options, no posability for these sort of 3 kits, which I did pick up and I did review for the channel. You can find my unboxings and reviews of these, and see how I felt about them, and also others. You've got a Terminator kit focus, how the new tactical dreadnought armor stacks up. Now we've seen these, but have we seen? We've got the assault cannon there, but I guess that's the sergeant. Doesn't look very posable, really. Maybe the arms maybe do a little bit, but I want the arms to be. I mean, look at this. Look at the base on for the captain. That is, yeah, not the sergeant. But I'd like to see more of them with like the missile launch and things like that. It doesn't show them there. And then we've got the Forge World pre-orders. So again, as I've mentioned earlier in the video, this is all from Forge World. So this version retains the classic resin hull and adds the new plastic weapon sponsons, combining a new datasheet available soon. So very odd that they've got new datasheets straight away. I mean, so the reason why they've updated the rules less than a year since they came out is mainly because of the sponsons. So you can now have look at these. All of the sponsons, Volkite culverins, heavy, las cannons, things like that. So, yeah, it might be worth you looking into that if you didn't just want to have him with the flamers. Would have been cool to have plasmas as well, or even melters. Have it a full melter mastodon. Look at my mastodon melter. Anyway, You've then got a look at the other resin kits that have the plastic sponson weapons. Now, it does say here, now comes with upgraded plastic sponson sprues, so you can. So it seems like you'd be able to use the plastic weapons with the super heavy tanks as well. I'm not sure why you'd want to, unless it's like to reduce the costs down in points, but they're already a Lord of War and they're already quite pricey, but oh well. And I think that 8 las cannons is pretty good, let's face it, already. But again, if you wanted to go like all Warcry, you could possibly do that with the glaive. But if you wanted a kind of pintle mounted combi weapon, combi Volkite, you're gonna still have to buy a Rhino to get that accessory sprue, because I don't think it's going to be included in these. But it seems like they're new pictures of those tanks. You've got the Golden Demon at Warhammer Fest 2023, the commended entries, and then Warhammer 40,000 faction focused World Eaters. So straight away, we only just got the codex a few months ago in February, and now you've got upgraded rules. So even more of a reason to have them all digital, because yeah, within 3 months your rules are just obsolete kind of thing. Play explosive games of King of the Hill, a top actual Realm Shaper engine in Warcry. So they do include this Realm Shaper engine, which I think is about £40 or so. So to have that in the kit is quite nice. And then these new Tyranid gaunts. You've got these biocannons. Yeah, it's a heavy weapon. It's a blast heavy weapon at 24-inch range. And the attacks are really random. You could have 1 or you could have 6. The ballistic skill is pretty good, actually, to be fair. The strength is 5, but no AP and only 1 damage. But the fact that it's blast means, a little unit of these firing can definitely do some damage to other Horde armies. You got Neuro Gaunts as well. Weapon skill's pretty good, but they're a bit weak with the strength 3. But they can also increase your synapse range as well. And they've also got this disruption bombardment for the Barb Gaunts as well. It subtracts 2 from its movement characteristic and 2 from advance. Oh, that could bog them down a little bit. Your enemy, that is. And that's it for all the news this week. Not a huge amount. So let's jump on over to Forge World. Have a look at all these new tanks. New, not really new. Yeah, front and centre, you've got an advert there for the Mastodon and the Arquita Bombard. If we click on new and we go to pre-orders, it is all of these vehicles that have just been retooled to accommodate the plastic weapon sprues from the plastic Horus Heresy range. So you've got the Javelin Landspeeder, £76. Again, I don't think it works to have tank side sponsons. I think it looked sleeker, less heavy, the way it had them before. But for kind of accessory point of view, it does make sense, and it does now give you options to swap them. The thing is how long is it going to be until they release that plastic Landspeeder? Could it be in a year? Could it be in 2 years? I think they will do it eventually. But this stopgap is this resin one with the retooling. I might pick one of these up, just to show you and just to show you how they've done that. And likewise, maybe one of the Arquitas as well. Because I do have the Morbius, as I call it, in resin. I haven't quite built that yet. But you've also got the Graviton Charge Cannon and the one with the Spicular Rocket System. So £115 for these tanks is very, very pricey, considering they're similar sort of size as a Sikaran. You've got the Fellblade and the Glaive. They're pushing £230 now. And then you've got the Falchion, which is £235. so extra £5. And then the Mastodon, which hasn't changed too much in price. It's now £395 with the plastics weapon sprue. The Deimos pattern Damocles Command Rhino upgrade set is sold out. You know, £35 wasn't too bad, but that is sold out. And that's it for the pre-orders from Forge World. So let's jump on over to Games Workshop and have a look at their pre-orders. And here we are on Games Workshop's web store, and straight away we can see that there's an advert for Warcry Age of Sigmar Nightmare Quest, they're calling it, and a few other minis and things that they're advertising. So if we click on new and exclusive and go to pre-orders, a paltry 17. Not very many at all, is there, today? And if we click on high to low, this is the Warcry Nightmare Quest. You could probably pick it up at a third party for about £90 or something, which isn't too bad considering you get everything that you need to play for Warcry. You're getting 2 warbands, which let's face it, will now cost you £37.50 each. So that's what, £75 or so. So for 20 quid, you're getting, you know, a decent amount of extra stuff, with the exception of dice. Don't know whether it needs dice because previous box sets of this didn't have them, but there we go. The scenery is quite nice too. You know, if you wanted to go down like the ruined Realm Shaker, the ruined kind of Realm Shaper engine for your new Seraphon that you probably start collecting. You've got Warcry Claws of Karanak available separately. Kill Team Extraction Squad was last weekend, so was the other Kill Team products. You've got the Warcry Askurgan True Blades for £37.50. You've got the Adeptus Titanicus cards were last week, but then you've got some books in the form of Blightslayer in £18 for that hardback. You've got the Great Devourer was last weekend, but you've also got Prince Mesa in paperback for £8.99. And Outgunned was last weekend, and then White Dwarf this weekend, £6.99. So you've really only got White Dwarf, 2 books, 2 Warcry clans, and the Warcry box set, and that is it for this weekend. Very, very minimal pre-order release. I think they could have thrown in the Warhammer Horrors Heresy Vindicator tank this weekend to pre-order, but you know, that'll probably be next weekend, and we've still got the rest of the Seraphon pre-orders to show up. And of course, next month, we'll all be building our 10th edition box sets. What do you guys think of the news and pre-orders today? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.